So Country Living magazine tasked me, I was so honored. They tasked me to go to the Country Living Fair. I was able to pick up 5 items. 5 items that just spoke to me. They were random. I had no idea what I was going to do with them, but the idea was to bring them all back to my studio and let them inspire me in some way, and that's exactly what they did. That magazine piece that you just saw started last October. I'm filming this in January, the end of January right now. You're going to be watching it in springtime when the issue comes out. But I want to tell you what went behind the making of this great Country Living article piece. Country Living article piece? Country Living Thrill of the Hunt feature. So let me show you the things that I picked up at the fair and how I kind of repurposed some of them and reused them in a fun way for this spring indoor picnic, and everything is something that you could do yourself, nothing too tough. From the sweetest French ladies, and their business is called French Antiques for you, David, for you. I got this old French bread bin, so you put your pastries, your croissant, day au croissant in that bread bin. We've repurposed it as a planter. I also picked up this old French pitcher from the same ladies. I mean, how beautiful is that? We used it as a vase for these beautiful blooming branches. From a really cool potter called the Maker's Place Studio, I picked up these bowls. They've got some asparagus, roasted asparagus soup in them right now. Look how beautiful they are. So the ladies throw the bowls and then they take vintage lace and they imprint on the bowls with the vintage lace. That's the Maker's Place Studio. I fell in love with them. Again, I had no idea what I was going to do with this stuff. Look at the breadboard. So this is an old breadboard they got from the cool chicks, the Hoosier sisters. These people sell great candles too, David, right?
I love their candles.
Yeah, I love their candles. We used it instead of a breadboard. It's now the placemat for this setting. Think about using that in your own home. Picking up, you know, old cutting boards or just cutting boards you have around, and instead of a placemat, putting that down on the table. Then everything is kind of confined to how you want to use it. With the soup, we have bread, they have their drink, everything on the table. There's a little gingham napkin there. David, the table is an old shutter that I got from a guy who has a business called the Dice Gallery, and he had tons of treasures in his place. And that's just an old shutter. I wish you could see the other side because it's white. I know I get some use out of this, and I just wanted to make it a table. Oh, and speaking of, look how we did the table, David. You know, you could use logs, books. This was just fun that I used a cake stand and then an old French enamel bucket. Basically, I knew when I pulled everything together, we were gonna have a little bit of French-inspired scene here. So using those French enamel buckets was a way to elevate the table to the height we needed it. Oh, this, David, this is the most beautiful rug. This is from a company called Reloom. They had a gorgeous booth at the fair, and they employ people that need jobs in the Atlanta area and have quite a business going, and they make these beautiful, beautiful rugs and placemats, and I just wanted to use one as kind of the tablecloth for the table. Gorgeous, right? This isn't French, but look at how it became that way. So those are the things that I picked up at the fair and how I repurposed them, and I've added some of my own things to it. I started with a base of old quilts. Like I love old quilts, and I don't have a ton of them, but the ones I have are very precious to me, and I just think they're beautiful, and they made for like a wonderful soft setting. To that, I added just a variety of cushions, just pillows that I had around the house. So there are various cushions and pillows that were outside, inside, so that kind of created that seating area. So now someone can sit and have their soup. Everybody would look, I'm eating my soup. It's delicious. I'm gonna give you that recipe later. Roasted asparagus soup. And then for the wall, David, look how cool the wall is. So we started by papering the wall for the scene for Country Living, but I love this idea for anything. I've said it before. Change the color of your wall with paper if you're having a party. But since it was spring, I wanted to have like some element of flowers that might be coming and growing within this scene. And I love a craft project, so we made some flowers using doilies. Doilies, cupcake liners, and just a little bit of, what do you call this stuff? Crepe paper streamer that I just made into a rosette. But I love that they've created this kind of loose scene that's going on behind what we're shooting. And I love a handmade element to whatever somebody's doing. How cute is that for a little photo backdrop for your front floor or your guests too, right? And we just added some greens. I added some more of my own enamel buckets around just to drive home that French feeling. And the last thing I would say, David, is what I always do if you've come to a party at my house is I always like to send everyone home with something. It's just a little thing to remind us of the night. We've been saving some old Altoid boxes, and it's just some lovely little sprinkle animal crackers that everybody is going home with. So everybody gets a little, you can eat it there if you'd like, and I'll fill it up again before you leave. But just took old little box tins and covered the top with paper inside, a little bit of pom-pom trim. How sweet is that, right? You could fill that with anything. It doesn't, but I love the idea that it's something to eat. So that's how this feature story came together for me. And thank you, Country Living Magazine. I was very honored. I hope everyone picks up the issue. Get inspired. Like, it's just like stuff I picked up and then it just turned into this. Very easily. Anybody can do it. I'm gonna step back and look at it.